dreams just random images fired from an unconscious brain during sleep? Or something much more important, like life-saving inner guidance? How dreams can be healing and early warning tools for disease, financial crisis, or success. And love is still one of the behavioral science's greatest unanswered questions. Hello, I'm your host, author Kat O'Keefe Kanavos. Welcome to Dreaming Healing, where dreams and cutting-edge scientific research meet on syndicated Dream Vision 7 radio network. Dreaming Healing is every Tuesday at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern, with live shows on the first and third evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, when you can call in and ask Kat questions about your amazing dreams. Talk on air. Call toll-free 833-220-1200. That's 833-220-1200. Come live your dreams out loud with Kat.
We all have a story to tell. And more people than ever before are writing their stories. So what comes next? How can we get published? Writing the story is actually the easiest part. The next part, getting that story out to help others, to share whatever it is you are writing about, is a little more difficult than putting our story together, putting it down on paper, and having it ready to go. Well, Teresa Velardi of WeBe Books, an imprint of Authentic Endeavors Publishing, is here with us today to answer those questions, those very important questions. But first, we're going to do our meditation, our protection meditation. And for those of you who are new to my show, before we go into the meditation, if you're just listening to us, maybe you're driving in your car, maybe you have me on your laptop and the laptop's in your passenger seat, you're driving home from work or somewhere else, and you'd like to see us, you can do this because this is a video podcast. So you can go to my website, KathleenO'KeefeKanavos.com, and that's KathleenO'KeefeKanavos, V as in Victor, OS as in Sam.com. And if you look at the top of my website page, you'll see these little black buttons. The second one from the left will be about the radio show. And when you click on it, what it's going to do is take you to my website on Dream Vision 7 radio network. And you scroll down and you'll see a little square, it looks like a TV, a little TV, and it'll say YouTube on it. Click on that and it will take you right to the show, right to it live. You can also watch all of the archives. You don't have to just listen to them. You can actually watch those archives. And while you're on that page today, you can look up all of Teresa Velardi's information, her bio, all of her links are going to be hot. So you can just click on them and go and learn more about her and what she does with her publishing company. Okay? So again, if you're just listening to us and you want to watch, go to my website. You can also get there by searching Kat, K-A-T, that's me, Kat, the Queen of Dreams. Just type that into any of your search bars. Click on it and it will take you to my website. If it doesn't, if it just pulls up in whatever the search mode is, click on that and you'll be able to go right to my website. Okay? So if you're new, we do this meditation every time before the show, and it's a protection meditation. And I first started doing this meditation when I was going through chemotherapy, both times. Because I figured, you know what, if I don't make it through this chemotherapy and I die during the night, at least I die in a state of grace. So yeah, I did it every single night. And what I found was I healed faster than the doctors expected. I had less side effects. I didn't have any burns when I went through radiation therapy both times. So this meditation really is fantastic. It really works. And it protects you. It keeps you safe. All right? So get comfortable. If you're driving in your car while you're listening to me, keep your eyes on the road. Do not close them. This will still work. All right? Sit deeply in your chair. Close your eyes. Feel yourself just kind of relaxing, your shoulders dropping, your seat heavier. And I want you to take a deep breath in. Hold it. Imagine any negativity from this week in that breath of life. Blow it out into the purple flame of Saint Germain. See it converted into beautiful golden energy light. Watch that light rise up beyond the stars, beyond the planets, up to those pearly gates. See it turn around at the pearly gates in a U-turn and come back down to our 7th chakra at the speed of thought, which is the fastest speed there is. Feel it filling your whole body with tingling, golden, healing light. Just sit for a second and feel it. From your toes, all the way down to your legs, around your knees, to your toes. From your nose to your toes. Okay, let's do it again. Deep breath in. Hold it. Any negativity somebody did to you this week, have it captured in that breath of and blow it out into that purple flame of Saint Germain again. Watch it converted into beautiful golden light. We're not going to litter. That light's going to go up through the universe, past the stars, past the planets, up to those pearly gates, where it's going to turn around and come right back down into our 7th chakra and fill us up with that golden energy again. Just tank to the top with it. One more time. Deep breath in. Fill your lungs all the way to the bottom. Any negativity from your childhood that still creeps into your mind, caught in that breath of life, blow it out. Right into the purple flame of Saint Germain. Again, converted into positive golden energy. Returned to the universe. Passing all the stars and planets like a meteor straight up to those pearly gates, where it turns around and comes right back into our 7th chakra, filling our whole body with tingling, healing, golden light. Those places you feel tingling the most are the places that need it the most. Now I want you to imagine holding in your hand a power gift. A power gift is anything at all that is filled with love. It can be your favorite piece of jewelry, your favorite stone, your favorite flower, your favorite deceased pet, shrunk down to hand size. Anything at all that holds the power of love. And I want you to swing it all around your body that's already filled with that golden light. You're creating a mirrored bubble around you, a protection mirrored bubble. Only that which is of the highest and best brought by your spirit guides and guardian angels, may enter that bubble. Everything else is reflected back from whence it came. We wish it so, and therefore it is. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Feel yourself coming back down into your body. If you're having trouble grounding, put your hands together in the prayer position and press. Those are all your pressure points in your whole body, and they'll help reground you. It's for a lot more than just praying. It's also for grounding. Ground yourself, feel yourself still tingling, and listen to my voice if you're still enjoying all that golden light. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Okay? All right, so WeBe Books is an exclusive boutique publisher dedicated to nurturing multi-book authors. Their philosophy is very simple. The more books our authors write and publish, the more they sell. Unlike many traditional presses, WeBe Books eagerly welcomes new talent and does not require writers to be represented by a literary agent. And authors retain full copyright and all royalties. We're going to get into that some more when we're talking to our guest tonight, Teresa Velardi. And Teresa is blessed with numerous gifts and talents. Teresa's abilities as a writer, editor, publisher, and coach are the vital ingredients she brings to the publishing platform. She's also a sponsor for the Dreamy Writers Conference Cruise on Holland America, the last week in August, which is the first week of the Aurora Borealis, aka the Northern Lights. But there's going to be more details on that later. Whether you're writing a children's book or sharing lessons from your life's journey, Teresa Velardi can help you bring your heart's messages to the pages of your book. Faith in God, gratitude, and giving are Teresa's heart in the writing practice, and she keeps her focus on her purpose as her life unfolds in this ever-changing world. So welcome to the show, Teresa Velardi.
Thanks, Kat. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. So let's take a step back in time, Teresa, because we've known each other for so long. And I want our audience to see how close we are. We often know when the other one's thinking about the other one. We will call each other when we're getting ready to call each other. So we kind of met through Karen Mayfield's Wake Up Women group and books many, many years ago. So what made you decide to jump from being an author in the WeBe books, I'm sorry, in the Wake Up Women books, into being a publisher?
That's an interesting story. So, I was working with Karen on the compilation books that Wake Up Women put out. And I was traveling with Debbie Allen, who was part of the group of women that was working with Karen. And we all met at Karen's house. Nobody knew each other. We just all showed up and there we were. Yeah. So it was the best thing. It was the best thing. Yeah. So I was doing some work with Debbie, and we were driving from Phoenix to Palm Springs, I think it was actually. And Debbie was doing a retreat. And while we're in the car, I'm talking to Karen and the team of people who had a call going on, the team of people who were helping to put this book together. And Debbie said to me, Teresa, what are you doing? I said, I'm helping Karen. She says, why don't you have your own publishing company? Why don't you have your own publishing company? I was like,
Mhm.
shrugged my shoulders. I don't know. I wasn't there yet. I wasn't there yet. But I quickly got pushed over the edge when Debbie said, I'll be your first client, and let's present this at the retreat that we're doing. Let's put a book together, and let's see who goes ahead and signs up. And so I think everybody except for one person signed on to be part of that first book, which was released in, I want to say 2015.
I
It's
think
been
so,
that
yeah.
long. It's been that long.
It's been almost 10 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How time
Mm-hmm.
flies.
When you're having fun,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. So, what are one of the biggest challenges you found going from being published to being a publisher?
Well, for me, it really wasn't a great big challenge because I had been doing a lot of what I do now when I was working with Wake Up Women to get their books done. I was doing the editing,
Mhm.
I was helping with formatting. I didn't have, there were a couple of pieces that were missing, but they were easily fillable. And so I did my research, and I knew a couple of people who were in the hybrid publishing space. So I got some advice for some pretty good from some pretty good people, and I decided, okay, why not? Let's do this.
Mhm.
And so it just unfolded. It was almost as if it was like the next right step to take. You know
Yeah.
how when you're walking on your on the path of your purpose, things happen
Mhm.
as they are supposed to happen to bring you further along the journey as you walk
Mhm.
it in faith. So.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. So as a publisher, I've noticed, and when we're close to the first break, so I don't kind of want to get into this too much. I want to get into it deeper when we come back from the first break. But as a hybrid publisher, um, what how do I ask this? As a hybrid publisher, what are some of the benefits that an author can expect when they're working with you versus maybe some other hybrid publishers? For instance, what is it that you do, you specifically, not hybrid publishing necessarily, but you, Teresa Velardi, do with
Mhm.
your authors that other publishers don't do?
That's a great question, Kat. Well, one of the first things that I want to say is that in your intro, you talked about the fact that we do not require you to have an agent. I don't know
Mhm.
that any hybrid publishing company does require that, but we do not require you to have an agent when you come to us. You bring us your story. And one of the biggest things that I can say, not that I'm all that in a bag of chips, but you get to work directly with me. Like I make the final decision on whether or not your manuscript fits into our variety of imprints that we have. There's very little that we won't publish with any of the imprints, and those things are pornography, occultism, anything that is not wholesome and something that's going to lift the audience up rather than take them in a potential wrong direction in their life.
Mhm.
We have imprints from children's books to Christian children's books. We have Authentic Endeavors has, oh my goodness, Spirit Book Endeavors. We have the a Christian platform. We have children's books, Christian children's platform. We have WeBe books, which is a lot of business books and personal stories. And there's something for everybody within the imprints of the company. And the umbrella is all under Authentic Endeavors Publishing. What they
Mhm.
get when they come to us, get professional editors, professional formatters. I read the stories, whether it's a piece in one of the in the Daily Gift Book series, which is our compilation series that we have going on, or whether it's your full book. I read through. I make sure that the editors have done what they're supposed to do, and that you are completely happy with what would be considered the final manuscript before it actually becomes the book with your name on the front cover.
Mm-hmm. And you know, there's you also do the covers, the front and the back covers as well, right?
Yes, unless
Mhm.
somebody has something specific that they have created,
Mhm.
then we make sure that that it's not someone else's copyrighted material, and that we can use it for this purpose. And we make
Mhm.
sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, so that nobody gets in any kind of predicament for using something that doesn't belong to them.
Mm-hmm. And so with this daily gift series, if you are publishing, and correct me if I'm wrong, Teresa, but if someone decides that they want to publish with you, they get to go into that series. Is it for free with every book, or just the next book that comes
The
out,
next
so
book
that
that
you're
comes out.
promoting them?
The next book that comes out. So if you come to me with a book and we're going to publish your book, part of the agreement that you will sign is that you do get the opportunity to get your story told in one of the daily gifts, the next one that's coming up. And the good thing about that is it's what we call cross-pollination, where you get to see people get to see you in a different aspect of who you are, and you get to put a 50-word bio in the book, unless you get on the cover, and then you have a little bit longer bio, and we'll talk about that after the break. But the big thing is that you want to get in front of as many people as possible with what you've written, so that, of course, you can sell more books. And more importantly than selling the books is you get your message in front of more eyes than you would have had you not been part of that. So it's just another way to promote you as an author, share your experience and your story, because I believe that if we have come through something, we have a responsibility to help the next person through.
Yeah, and you don't get that with, I mean, I've done all the publishing except self, because I didn't even know enough
Mhm.
to do self-publishing. But I
Yeah.
did hybrid publishing, and I've got to tell you, there's a world of difference between hybrid publishers. And again, we're gonna talk about that with Teresa after the break, because we're going to the break in just about 1 minute. But being able to, and I have to tell you, Teresa, it's just brilliant what you did with this daily gift series, because as someone is published with you, not only do they get to put in their story part of what might be in their book and put it in as a footnote at the bottom of their story, of their chapter, which again is part of the cross-pollination. But now they can take that daily gift book from that series and put it on the website, on their website, and put underneath that they are a published author in that series. So it's like all of a sudden this snowball starts happening that takes some authors 10 or 15 years to get to that point, and you bring them there within the first month. And that is absolutely amazing. So we've got to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk to Teresa about the difference between hybrid publishers, conventional publishers, and self-publishing. They are very different. They are very different, and you really need to know the difference, even within conventional publishers and within the hybrid publishers. Which one is for you? They're not always what you think they're going to be. So don't go away. We'll be right back. You are listening to Dreaming Healing on Dream Vision 7 Radio Network.
What if dreams can diagnose your life? What if we can meet the love of our life in dreams? Join host Kat O'Keefe Kanavos, the #1 internationally best-selling author of Dreams That Can Save Your Life, written with Duke University medical doctor Larry Berg. Dreaming Healing is where we'll explore dreams, research, and interpret dreams from you, the caller. Dreaming Healing Shows can be heard every Tuesday at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern, with live shows on the first and third evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific Time on syndicated Dream Vision 7 Radio Network. Come live your dreams out loud with Kat.
Are miracles real? Can you move from mayhem to miracles? 30 prominent authors say yes as they share their high fives and down lows of challenges, abuse, addiction, and love. Experience hope, the magic elixir of miracles, through the personal stories of New York Times bestselling authors James Redfield, Dr. Bernie Siegel, Sister Jenna, Reverend Temple Hayes, and many more. If you like bestsellers, chaos to clarity, and crappy to happy, you'll love crying and laughing through mayhem to miracles. Sacred stories of transformational hope. Available now on Amazon and in bookstores worldwide.
Did you know that every word you speak matters? What you say and how you say it can make or break a relationship or shift the outcome of any situation. Are your conversations making a difference? Faith in God, gratitude, authenticity, and giving are Teresa Velardi's heart. It's in this spirit that she's focused on making a difference in the lives she's blessed to touch. Conversations That Make a Difference is now on syndicated Dream Vision 7 Radio Network every Tuesday at 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Time, with live call-in shows every first and third Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern.
In a world facing annihilation, a miraculous African nun rises to become the first female pope through a web of war, murder, and betrayal. Loved by some, hated by many, she becomes the deadly target of Islamic terrorists and her own cardinals as she introduces a new vision that will either save humanity or accelerate its destruction. 4 people must race against a nuclear holocaust to learn her astonishing secret. Pope Annalisa is available at petercanova.com, Amazon, and other online booksellers and bookstores worldwide.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
Welcome back to Dreaming Healing on Dream Vision 7 Radio Network. I'm your host, Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos, but hey, my friends all call me Kat, so I hope you will too. We're talking with we're talking with the publisher of Authentic Endeavors and WeBe books, Teresa Velardi. Yeah, that's a mouthful. And we were talking about the difference between self-published, hybrid published, and conventionally published books just before the break. So I am hybrid published with another company for the time being. I'm going to say just for the time being. And what I found that was different between Teresa's hybrid publishing and mine is Teresa does not take any money whatsoever out of your book. Your book is your book once it's published. You get everything. With my book, with a hybrid publisher, they still almost act as a publishing house, and they take royalties. They send me royalties. They keep money. They do that. The other thing is this, I found with that publishing company that when another publisher came in and actually wanted to do the audio for my book and the CD for my book, I found out that the money I had spent on my cover, that I had given them to do my cover, they simply went in, took pictures that they didn't pay for, and put it on the cover of my book. So my cover was illegal. And I didn't know that until the other conventional publisher said, hey, look, hybrid publisher, this cover's illegal. We need to see all of the information for the parts of this cover you put together, because this is not copacetic. And that was the first I'd heard of it. And there was a big scramble. So you really need to know a little bit about your hybrid publisher. A lot of them are going to be things that they're not going to tell you. But since Teresa and I are kind of working together with WeBe Books, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from Teresa, and now I'm much smarter when it comes to hybrid publishing. I've never done self-publishing because I don't know enough about publishing to do it.
Mhm.
And I would probably be in tears all the time. Now, conventional publishing, this is something that a lot of people don't understand. When a conventional publisher tells you that they're going to give you money up front, that's what people say to me, but I want the money up front. You're going to have to pay back the money up front. And the way you're going to have to pay it back is they're going to take those royalties out of your books. And so if you're going to be paying like $2,000 to get your book published by WeBe Books, you're going to be having money taken out of your books with a conventional publisher forever, as long as your book is on Amazon and can be bought. So in the end, you're going to be paying a lot more. And a lot of people don't understand that. So Teresa, give us your thoughts on these publishing avenues.
Okay. Let me give you the lowdown here. So first of all, I love that you brought up the fact that your cover was illegal, because that's a big mistake that a lot of people make, and they don't recognize the fact that whatever you may use, unless you have actually purchased the rights to use it, you cannot, you run the risk of being having copyright infringement and infringement, the use of somebody else's product that you did not pay for. That's a big tripping point for people who are self-published. Okay, so self-published means that you do it all yourself, you figure it out, and you play the game as best you can in hopes that you're going to be able, you're doing the right thing and you're being uploaded to Amazon or whatever. All right, self-publishing is do it yourself. Traditional publishers, they do it for you, but as you said, they may give you an advance, but you have to pay that advance back in terms of your royalties, so forth and so on. And hybrid publishing is, I would say, the best of both worlds, because for the self-publisher who doesn't know what to do or how to do it, we do, and you pay us for that service. And for people who have been looking at traditional publishing, you save money right off the bat with the fact that you don't have to buy an agent. You don't have to have an agent who you pay for. That's why I say buy an agent. And then you don't have the tripping point of the clarity. A lot of people think, oh, they're going to dump a lot of money in my pocket. Yeah, temporarily, maybe.
Then you got to pay it back.
Right. And the only way that they will dump a lot of money in your pocket temporarily is if you have a huge platform that you can actually sell books for them, because in the end, you get only a small portion. You get the fame and the glory of being a published author by one of the big name publishing houses. However, you're not making as much money as they are in the long run. You're not making as much money. Now, Kat, you've done both. You've done hybrid and you've done traditional publishing. And so you know the differences, and I know what you say is true about your experience with that.
Yeah, and we're not poo-pooing either one of them or kind of promoting either one of them. It kind of depends on what you want to do. For instance, if you have a business and you want to write a book about your business, and you go to a conventional publisher and they accept your book, they accept your manuscript. Let's say you got an agent, you finally found an agent. Remember, your agent's going to get anywhere between 15 and 20% of your royalties when they come in. They go to your agent, and then your agent sends you a check or puts it in your accounts. But if you decide then that you want to do a workbook that goes along with your book, you can't do it because you don't own the copyright to your book.
Exactly.
The publisher does.
Yeah. So that's the biggest thing. It's one of the biggest things, and my pet peeves is that a lot of people get starry-eyed about the glitz and the glory of being published by a traditional publisher, when in the meantime, most of the time, not necessarily all of the time, but most of the time, the publishing company is actually buying the rights to your material and will not let you use it anywhere else except directly through them. So I don't like those chains that bind me in terms of what my writing would be, or what someone else's might be. Your work is your work. It's your intellectual property. You have the rights to have it and do whatever it is that you need to do or want to do with it. That's my opinion as an author, as an editor, and as a publisher. Editing is a big thing between the three different platforms. Someone who is self-published may not know they have they need an editor. Oh, I edited it. It sounds really good. Well, how many times have you read through that line and you realize that the way you spelled there, T-H-E-R-E or T-H-E-I-R or T-H-E-Y apostrophe R-E, is not used in the proper context? And then anyone who is a reader, an avid reader, or has some education in editing and the proper use of those words, will immediately say, oh, who edited this book? I know I caught an edit issue in a well-known author's book, and I was appalled by the fact that the traditional publishing company never picked it up. So, hey, we're human, we make mistakes, but with all the tools that are out there today, getting the job done right is one of my top priorities, and also to keep the author's voice. A lot of times, I know, Kat, you've experienced this with a project that you worked on with someone else. I make sure that my editors know that when somebody writes something down or somebody speaks to you, you can hear what their voice is, how they talk, how they present themselves, how they write, how their work flows, the idiosyncrasies in their language. You catch it all. You catch it all. And a lot of editors and top name, publishing companies, they don't care. They just want to present the message however they want to present the message and what they think is best. And for me, as someone who is really adamant about the fact that we all have our own gifts and talents, we all walk a walk that we have, nobody else can walk in your shoes. And nobody tells the story the way that you do, with whether you've used language that we might not normally hear. I have someone who's using some Queen's English words in their book right now. And I said, I just want to ask you, did you spend any time in England? And they said, no. I said, then tell me about how you use these words. I just like to use those words. I have to honor the fact that they like to use those words, and those words will stay in their book because it's part of who they are. And so those are a couple of things, just a couple of things that are, that I don't want to say pride myself on, but I'm really adamant about the fact that I protect the author's work. So self-publishing, do it all on your own. Traditional publishing, you release a lot of your control, and you release a lot of your money to them. And with my hybrid publishing company, Authentic Endeavors, we do the work for you that you don't want to do as a self-publisher. We provide the tools for you that you would get from a publishing company that is considered to be traditional. But we keep your voice, and we make sure that your work is properly presented through we got the team that does the editing, we got a team that does formatting, we take care of the cover design, we make sure that you haven't had any infringements with your cover, and sometimes we even create them yourself. I have a great illustrator, so we put it all together for you, and you get to put all the royalties in your pocket.
And you own the copyright to your book.
Yes.
You own the copyright. So what does that mean? That means that if after Teresa publishes your book, you decide you want to do a workbook. Hey, great, because you're going to own that too.
Mhm.
Whereas when I was talking about before, when you go through a conventional publisher, and let's say you wrote a book about your work, and you wanted to do a workbook to go with it,
Mhm.
and you have to now send the book proposal for your workbook to your agent, who now sends that to the publishing house. And if the publishing house goes, you didn't really sell enough books with your regular book to warrant us publishing your workbook, so no. But because they own your copyright, you can't go and publish that workbook with some other publisher. You can't even
Yeah.
go and publish it with Teresa. You have to change the whole title, make sure nothing would draw them back to your workbook, to your book, because they have to be two totally different entities, or you're going to be in big trouble.
Yeah, and that's kind of like that's fruitless. It's fruitless to even do the workbook in a situation like that, because the connection that you need between the original book, where the workbook stems from, has no connection to the workbook. Therefore, they will never match up, and the reader will never get the full experience of using the workbook and applying the tools and the information that the author might be giving you into their world. So there's a lot of things that you can't do. And one other thing that I want to talk about is the ISBN numbers. Self-publishing. Okay, so if you always get your own ISBN number. Now, if you've ever gone to Amazon and tried to upload something, Amazon will provide you with an ISBN number. Ingram will provide you with an ISBN number, but guess what? They own it. So a lot of times you cannot publish your work in any other distribution platform except for the one where you have purchased the ISBN number. When you get your own ISBN number, as a self-published author, you'll pay for it through a company that issues them. When you come through a hybrid company like mine, Authentic Endeavors Publishing, ours, WeBe Books, you get that book is actually linked to the publishing house. So you have a publisher as a hybrid. You have a publisher, and that ISBN number will be linked to the publisher, and it will be linked to your book directly. You simply give us the permission to publish your book. Everything else remains yours. The copyright remains yours. Anything you want to do with it. The only thing I ask is that, especially when we're publishing something in, the short stories and the Daily Gift book series, we just ask that you don't use it for anything else until the book that you originally sent it to comes out. So if you put a story in Daily Gift of Gratitude, and that was released 3 years ago now already. I can't believe it's 3 years already. Daily Gift of Gratitude came out at least a month afterwards. Please don't use your story for anything else. But otherwise, you can feel free to publish it in a magazine if you have the opportunity. Make it part of your own compilation book of your own works. But we would like just the opportunity to be the first to release it when that story goes as part of that book. And we usually release 1, sometimes 2 of those per year. We're going to try for 2 this year.
So we've come to a point where we've got to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk to Teresa about a few other things, like how can she ensure that you, her author, is successful. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
What if dreams can diagnose your life? What if we can meet the love of our life in dreams? Join host Kat O'Keefe Kanavos, the #1 internationally best-selling author of Dreams That Can Save Your Life, written with Duke University medical doctor Larry Burke. Dreaming Healing is where we'll explore dreams, research, and interpret dreams from you, the caller. Dreaming Healing shows can be heard every Tuesday at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern, with live shows on the first and third evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific Time on syndicated Dream Vision 7 radio network. Come live your dreams out loud with Kat.
Why are we here? How can we be happy? Questions asked from millennials to boomers. Crappy to happy. Sacred stories of transformational joy answers them using true stories of grit, grace, and love. James Redfield, author of The Celestine Prophecy, wrote in the foreword, "This book is a seminar about emerging truths and offers grounded solutions through the art of the comeback." Dr. Bernie Siegel, a contributing author, wrote, "Bodies die, but spirits and consciousness survive and recycle." So, grab some tissues, open your book, and prepare to cry and laugh till it heals. Crappy to Happy by Reverend Ariel Patricia and Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos. Available from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and booksellers worldwide. Have you met your physician within yet? The Nautilus and multi-award-winning book, Surviving Cancerland, Intuitive Aspects of Healing, is a memoir that takes you down the rabbit hole of healing dreams and interpretations, mixed with conventional medicine and treatments. Listen to the hookah-puffing caterpillar ask, "Who are you?" Dr. Bernie Siegel says Kathleen's story is powerful, honest, and eye-opening. Surviving Cancerland, Intuitive Aspects of Healing by three-time breast cancer survivor Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos. Buy the book and audio at KathleenO'KeefeKanavos.com and worldwide through Amazon and other retailers. Darkest hours to brightest moments, transformation from despair to happiness, and chaos to clarity. Real people, real pain, real healing. Life-threatening illness, death, abusive relationships, divorce, and overcoming addiction are challenges these men and women faced head-on. See how they emerged stronger and happier. Buy the new book, Chaos to Clarity, Sacred Stories of Transformational Change by Reverend Patricia Caginello and Kathleen O'Keefe Kanavos. Available on sacredstoriespublishing.com and worldwide through Amazon and other retailers.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
So welcome back to Dreaming Healing on Dream Vision 7 Radio Network. We're coming into the last section of our show tonight. It just goes so fast, especially when Teresa and I are together. We're just so in sync. It just kind of flows and flows and flows. So I know that, Teresa, you are one of the sponsors for the Dreamy Writers Conference cruise on Holland America that we're going to be talking about at the very end of the show. But what is it that you are offering any of the listeners tonight that might still want to sign up? Because there are a few spots still open.
Oh, wow. Well, right now we are in the midst of putting together Daily Gift of Peace, which is the fourth book for the Daily Gift book series. And for those of you who don't know it, Daily Gift of Gratitude, Daily Gift of Hope, and a Daily Gift of Kindness. These are all on Amazon, and authors have been in one, two, or all of these books as they have come out. And now you have the opportunity, if you are booked on that cruise. Man, Kat, I didn't know I was going to do this, but I'm going to do it. If you're booked on that cruise, and you can show Kat, and you can tell Kat that you are part of the group that is on for the Dreamy Healing Cruise, I'm going to give you 50% off on getting a story in the book. It's normally only $97, but how about we do it for $50? And we have people be in the book with a story, 250 to 275 words, and the topic is peace. If you want to know, you want a few writing prompts on what to write about, just go to a Daily Gift bookseries.com/peace, and it will give you all of the writing prompts that I have there. And then when you do this, you will also, I'll give Kat a code. It'll be, I don't know, we'll figure it out. Kat will know that, but get in touch with Kat, and she will tell me that you have, you want to participate as one of the authors in a Daily Gift of Peace, and we'll go ahead and have you taken care of as far as that's concerned. So yeah, all right. So for anybody who's
Wow.
on the cruise, a half price for a story. It's more if you want to be on the cover, we can discuss that. But for the most part, this will get you an opportunity, whether or not you are an author right now. This will get you to dip your toe in the water of becoming a published author with other people. And each one of these books has become a bestseller. Each one of the people who are represented in this book with their story can say that they are a contributing author to a best-selling series.
And if your heart is set on being conventionally published, you want to be able to put that in your book proposal. It's going to get a lot of attention, because then they're going to know that you're just not a fly-by-night writer, that you're actually already a published author. And like I said, that's going to make a really big difference. So thank you, Teresa. You know, I had no idea you were going to do this either. So I have to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
You're welcome.
So how can we get in touch with you?
The best way to get in touch with me is to go, you can either email me at Teresa Velardi at gmail.com, or you can go authenticendeavorspublishing@gmail.com. I'm on social media, both as in Facebook, we have the Authentic Endeavors Publishing page, and then my page, Teresa Velardi. You'll find me there. I'm all over the place. I have a link tree. It's Teresa Velardi, so you'll find me all over the place. But anything, and Kat, if you have trouble finding me, go to Kat. She knows where I am.
And just click up at the top where all the buttons are. Click the button that says "Get Published" on my website. It will take you right to WeBe Books, and you know. So yeah, you can always get her. And like I said, if you go to Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, my website, on there, all of Teresa's picture, all of her information is there, her bio is there, and all the links are hot. So you just click the links right there and they'll take you where you need to go. Okay.
Absolutely.
So a quick before we go into our writers and our dreamer tip tonight, July 1st and August, the August, September, the July, August edition of Desert Health Magazine, the Coachella Valley's leading resource for health and wellness. And that's in Palm Springs, all the way down to the Indio area of California, where I spend all of my winters. The new magazine will be out on July 1st, and my article will be in there on healing dreams. Healing dreams, and it's going to be about cooking. I had a dream telling me what I needed to cook and what I needed to eat during chemotherapy to stay healthy. So it's going to be an amazing article. You can always order them and you can watch for them to be online as well. So Teresa, what would you give, what would you suggest as a writer's tip for our audience tonight?
Writer's tip. You know, I have two tips actually. Some people do really well with, they seem to be inspired first thing in the morning. I know, Kat, you have a dreamer's journal that you keep at night if you wake up and you have a dream. And some people get very inspired first thing in the morning after they've been sleeping. Maybe they've had a dream and they need to write it down, or they've gotten a message that they need to write down. So I would say some people write at various times of the day that work for them. If you have a habit of, if you recognize that you have certain times of the day where you feel inspired, utilize that time to do your writing. And then the second tip that I would give you is don't shoot the judge, because here's the thing. I tend to get in my head. You know, we all have the judgment thing going on in our head. Did I write that correctly? Did I do this? Did I do that? Blah, 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 blah. Just write. let go of, I call them the itty bitty shitty committee. Get rid of the committee in the head who's judging you, shoot the judge, whatever. Just put it on paper and then go back and read it. Because if we don't do that, we interrupt the flow of consciousness that the writing comes from, and we lose a lot of the meaning by our own self-judgment. So the two things are write at a time that's convenient for you, or that is that you're most inspired. Some people say like midday, they all of a sudden they feel like they're inspired for whatever reason. Write that during that time. And then the other thing is, when you do sit down to write, whether it's consistently or not, just let it flow. Just let it flow. And then you put it all together later on.
I love that. That's, that's fantastic, because you're right, Teresa. I'm a night owl. I write best at night when everything is quiet. I can go in really deep and go down in there into those emotions. Other people, you're talking about noon. Some people just get that second energy at noon and they're ready to go. Me, I'm ready for a nap. But find your time. Like Teresa said, find your writing time and chisel that out during the day for you. And you use that time for yourself. And yeah, definitely, shoot the judge in that itty bitty judgment committee, because you want a free flow, no judgment, just free flow.
Yeah.
And get it down on paper, and you can go back later. So my dreamer's tip kind of goes along with this. Don't judge yourself if you think that you can't dream, if you're not a dreamer, because you can use your dreams to tap into your emotions and write those down in your book, so that your pages are pulling the reader in. They're pulling the reader into the scene and making them a part of your story, versus the reader just sitting there reading your story. So if you're not able to actually remember your dreams well enough to get to that emotion, meditate or sit in a corner, bore yourself into a daydream. Put yourself in the corner, looking at the walls, looking at that crack, and your mind will go, oh, no, I can't take this. Let's just go off on a daydream somewhere. Use those emotions in that daydream, because you can't daydream emotion you've never experienced, any more than you can speak a language you've never heard. If you can experience it in the daydream, chances are you had it in a night dream, and now you can put it into your writing. So, upcoming events, this has to do with Teresa too, because she's involved in the Dreamy Writers Conference cruise. Read, write, relax, and get published. Yeah, it's the Spirit at Sea Dreamy Writers Conference cruise. And this is actually our second one. The first one was quite surprising that it did so well, and it went to Baja, Mexico from San Diego, California. And it was such a great success that we're doing it again this year, August 24th through the 31st, 2025, to Alaska, round trip from Seattle. So you don't have to fly to a foreign country and fly back from a foreign country. It's from the US back to the US to a place in the US. So I really like that. And it's under $1,500 per person for an inside room. That's unbelievable. For a week on Holland America? Are you kidding? That's incredible. So it's past the point of being able to get refunded in the first 90 days with me, but I'm going to be the host. We have 3 instructors. The C days are spent in interactive workshops, organizing your writing, your books, your blogs, social media promotions, and deciding what type of publishing is the right type for you. And you're going to have contact with an agent. If you want an agent and you want to go conventionally, we're going to help you do it. Okay. So, and you're going to be doing all this while you're tapping into your dreams, because I'm going to be doing Dreams Unmasked. So the information again is on my website, KathleenO'KeefeCanvas.com, or Google Kat, the Queen of Dreams, or you can call Michelle Prey. at 800-658-6869. Again, that's 800-658-6869, and ask for Kat's Dreamy Writers Conference Cruise. So we have just a few minutes left. We have 2 minutes left, Teresa. Is there any last ideas or any last words you'd like to share with our audience quickly for like a minute?
I'm, as we were talking about tips and whatnot, I'm thinking that everybody has their own style in terms of their writing. Some people can type out a story on the keyboard and they can still feel it come through their heart. There is one of the things that I want to say is when you write, Wayne Dyer actually wrote all of his books on paper. He did not write them at the keyboard. He wrote them on paper. And one of the reasons that I think that writing on paper is so helpful is because the energy has to come from your head down before it gets to your hand. It has to go through your heart, and it is heartfelt writing. I call it that way. But so yeah, just if you have a dream of being an author, pursue it. If you have dreams like Kat has, prophetic dreams and things that are that come to happen in the world around you, you have something to offer the world. You have knowledge in one way or another, whether it's through a dream, through an life experience, if you've come through a problem. I often say that it's my obligation, if I've come through a problem and I see somebody having the same situation that I have, I feel like I have an obligation to help that person. So when
That's
you
great,
write it
Teresa.
down, write it down, it gets out to a lot of people, and you have a perfect opportunity to share a story in the Daily Gift of Peace if you've not written before, or come to us with a manuscript. There's the manuscript submission on WeBeBooks.com and on AuthenticEndeavorsPublishing.com. So I hope to hear from anybody that is
Thanks, everybody. Teresa, thank you so much. We've got to go. We've hit our time. So until next time, remember, everybody dreams, but some dreams save lives. Good night, everyone.
Thank you for joining us this evening, and a big thanks to our producer. Tune in next time to Dreaming Healing for more cutting-edge research, live dream interpretations, and stories with radio host and award-winning author Kat O'Keefe Kanavos. Listen every Tuesday at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern Time with call-in live shows on the first and third evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific Time on syndicated Dream Vision 7 Radio Network. Remember, everyone dreams, but some dreams save lives. Live your dreams. Find more about Kat at KathleenO'KeefeKanavos.com. That's Kathleen with a K. OKEEFEKANAVOS, or The Queen of Dreams on Google search.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.